In the opening scene, we see an elderly woman fall down the stairs. Further events take us back some time. War reporter Kate Rafter, despite the danger, is still in Iraq. She takes shelter from the explosions in a house with a boy named Nadal. To distract the boy from what is happening outside, Kate suggests playing hide and seek with him, when suddenly something happens. After the sudden death of her mother, Jillian, Kate leaves Baghdad. Jillian died after falling down the stairs. Kate will later tell forensic psychologist Dr. Shaw about this. She can hardly sleep, tormented by nightmares. Kate has a tense relationship with her younger sister, Sally, who does not understand why Kate travels to war zones, trying to save every child in the world, instead of thinking about her own family for once. Although perhaps Sally knows the reason. The woman makes a difficult decision, to return to the house where she was born. Kate has not been there in 10 years. Paul, Sally's husband, gives her a lift. He is the only person she feels supported by. Paul is not sure Kate should return to that house, but she knows she has to. The woman walks through all the rooms, which bring back memories of her childhood. As night falls, her anxiety grows. The sight of the stairs now fills her with panic. Kate keeps thinking about Nadal, the boy she tried to protect in Iraq. Kate feels it slowly driving her insane. One day she notices a woman from the house next door watching her through the window. At first Kate does not pay much attention to it, although even when passing by, the woman does not stop staring at her. Kate gradually settles in. Every object in this house pulls her back into the past. Looking in the mirror, she remembers her mother brushing her hair. It is very hard for the woman. Later, Kate will tell Dr. Shaw that she could not visit her childhood home while her father was still alive. He was a violent alcoholic, but Kate has no desire to talk about it. She is convinced that none of the things troubling her now have anything to do with her childhood. Dr. Shaw asks whether Kate was close to anyone in her family. Kate says she was close to her niece, Hannah, who now lives in Australia. But now it no longer matters. Kate walks along the coast, unaware that an old man is watching her from the pier. He has clearly recognized her. She slips back into the past again, but a man's voice suddenly brings her back to reality. It is Joe, Hannah's ex-boyfriend. He realizes she must be Hannah's aunt, even though they have never met in person. The young couple had been planning to leave together, but at some point everything went wrong. Joe does not know why it happened. Kate says how sorry she is, and hurries to end the conversation, while the old man tries to deal with the emotions stirred up by seeing her. The woman hears a child's voice coming from the house next door. Kate decides to gather her old toys and knocks on the neighbor's door. The same woman who was watching her earlier opens it. Kate introduces herself as Jillian's daughter and offers to let the woman take the toys for her child. The woman irritably says she has no children and slams the door. Kate meets with her mother's lawyer. Sally never shows up, only Paul. The lawyer announces that Jillian left the house to a certain Ray Stone. Neither Kate nor Paul has ever heard of Mr. Stone. Perhaps he is a man Jillian had been seeing, but was in no hurry to introduce to her relatives. In any case, Kate is actually glad to be rid of the house, which cannot be said of Paul. He had hoped for a different outcome. Things have been difficult for them lately, because for the past 3 years, ever since their daughter Hannah left, Sally has been unable to work. Paul tried to influence the situation somehow, but Hannah was hardly likely to listen to her stepfather. Besides, Sally's problems with alcohol have grown worse. Now Hannah calls only once every couple of months. Mother and daughter have been at odds for a long time. Kate mentions the strange new neighbor. Paul realizes she means Frida. According to him, the woman really does not have any children. In that case, Kate cannot understand what she could have heard. Paul suggests that the events in Iraq may have affected her more deeply than she thought. The past haunts Kate. She gathers her strength and finally meets with her sister. Sally admits that their mother blamed her for Hannah's departure. In reality, Sally believes Jillian was a terrible mother to both of them. Kate does not understand why her sister is saying this. In response, Sally angrily says she knows who Kate is and what she did. Sally also cannot understand how their mother could have done such a thing, start a romance after their father's death. Sally never considered their father a bad man, while Kate insists that he was cruel. Be that as it may, the conversation leads nowhere. At night, Kate wakes from another bad dream. She finds her mother's audio diary. Jillian had recently been having memory problems, so she used a voice recorder to keep track of the events of each day. Looking out the window, Kate sees a boy. Maybe Paul is right, and she is simply being haunted by ghosts from Iraq, or perhaps the woman next door is hiding something in her house. In the middle of the night, Kate goes to Frida and demands that she tell her what she is doing with that boy. Frida in turn threatens to call the police if Kate does not stop immediately. Later, Dr. Shaw will explain that the mind often replays painful experiences. It is a way of processing trauma. However, Kate had to make sure there was no child in danger in Frida's house. The psychologist concludes that Kate is tormented by guilt because she was never able to protect Nadal. At night, the woman sees the boy outside again. He laughs and runs away. Kate chases after him, but quickly loses sight of him. She shows up at Frida's house and shouts at her to tell the truth. Since things have gone too far, Frida calls the police, and Kate is arrested. It turns out that during the events in Baghdad, several of Kate's colleagues filed a complaint against her. Kate tells Dr. Shaw that everything she did was justified because she was trying to protect Nadal. Kate was ready to risk her own life and the lives of others. The psychologist reminds her that her colleagues claimed she was alone. No one saw Nadal with her. Right before the attack, Kate left the shelter against orders. Dr. Shaw asks Kate about the day her brother died. The woman has no intention of discussing it and is about to leave, but finds herself handcuffed to the table. The psychologist urges Kate to face the past, otherwise this vicious cycle will never be broken. Many years ago, Jillian, pregnant with her third child, went to the beach with her daughter Kate and her son David. Jillian wanted to take a nap and asked Kate to watch David. But the girl got distracted, and her brother drowned in the sea. Kate's father blamed his wife and daughter. Dr. Shaw believes that both Nadal and the boy next door were embodiments of David. But no matter how many children Kate tries to protect, it will not bring her brother back. Kate has to accept the truth. She is released from custody. Paul picks Kate up. She asks him to take her to Jillian's house. Paul thinks it is a bad idea, since Frida is trying to get a restraining order. But Kate has to say goodbye to the place where she was born. The woman will never forgive herself for David's death. As she leaves, Kate's gaze lingers on Frida's house. Then she thanks Paul for everything and gives him the keys to Jillian's house. They embrace and wish each other luck, after which Kate leaves, determined to return to work. It is all she has left. The woman goes back to Iraq. While listening to Jillian's audio diary, Kate hears a boy's voice on one of the recordings. In that moment her heart seems to skip a beat. But Kate has no time to do anything because her group comes under fire. Sally is constantly drunk. It started a long time ago and was the reason for constant conflicts with her daughter. It was because of Sally's alcoholism that her first husband, Hannah's father, left her. But Sally simply cannot make herself stop. One day Ray Stone approaches her on the street. Sally does not know this man, so she does not stop to hear him out. That same day Harry, Kate's editor, calls Sally to deliver bad news. Kate has gone missing in Iraq after a shootout. It is already being reported on the news. Sally remembers how her father always told her to stay away from Kate so she would not end up like David. All her life, Sally lived with the thought that her sister was capable of something terrible. As soon as Paul learns what happened, he leaves work and comes home to be with his wife at such a difficult moment. Although Kate is listed as missing, it is obvious that she is dead. Sally simply cannot stay at home right now and goes out to clear her head, when suddenly she realizes that the old man is following her. It is Ray Stone. He only wanted to tell Sally that he does not need Jillian's house. Sally asks how Mr. Stone met her mother. Ray replies that it was on the day David died. He was a fisherman and saw everything with his own eyes. According to him, Kate bravely threw herself into the water to save David, but she was just a little girl and could not do anything. Neither Kate nor Jillian was to blame. It was a tragic accident. Hearing this, Sally does not know what to feel, because their father always said something completely different, that Kate was a monster. Ray met Jillian on the beach on that fateful day and did not see her again until after the death of her husband, Dennis. Toward the end, Jillian asked Ray to look after her daughters. Now Sally understands why her father treated Kate and Jillian so cruelly. Dennis loved only his younger daughter. For Sally, everything falls into place. She throws away all the alcohol in the house and starts attending group therapy for alcoholics. In fact, Kate did not die. She was found wounded after the shootout. Sally visits her brother's grave and meets Joe there. He has come to visit his mother's grave. Joe misses Hannah terribly and deeply regrets the foolish way they broke up. Shortly before their breakup, Hannah changed. Joe felt that something was bothering her, but she never told him what it was. In Hannah's room, Sally finds a positive pregnancy test. Paul admits that he knew about it, as well as about Hannah's decision not to keep the baby. Since Sally was not herself, they decided not to tell her. Hannah did not want to repeat Sally's experience and make her own child unhappy. The woman cries, unable to understand how it happened that her own daughter did not trust her. That same evening when Paul goes out for groceries, Sally receives a message from Kate saying that she is all right and is already on her way back. But Kate needs someone to believe her. When Paul returns, he cannot find his wife. Meanwhile, as her sister asked, Sally goes to Frida's house. Kate is sure that Frida is holding a boy captive, possibly in the shed. Sally breaks open the door and finds a hidden passage to the basement. When she goes down, the woman really does see the boy, but not only him. She also sees her daughter, Hannah. The basement has been made to look like a room. Hannah is sobbing, unable to calm down. The boy's name is Miguel. Paul comes down to them. When Hannah sees him, she starts screaming hysterically. He calmly says that no one will hear them. Frida is already dead, it was his doing. Sally cannot understand what is happening. Paul explains that he did not want to let Hannah go either. In reality, he never loved Sally, only Hannah. And he could not allow her to leave, especially not with their son, Miguel. Furious, Sally attacks Paul. A fight breaks out between them. In the end, Paul wounds her badly. Moreover, he is also responsible for Jillian's death. He had to do it because she found out his secret. At that moment, Kate appears. It comes as a complete shock to him, because she was supposed to be dead. Paul attacks her. Hannah saves Kate by taking his life. Together they take Sally to the hospital. Doctors fight to save her life. Dr. Shaw also comes to the hospital to support Kate. Now the woman knows for certain that she was not insane, and that David's death was not her fault. Fortunately, the doctors manage to stabilize Sally. The sisters are reunited. Kate is ready to let go of the past and move on.